What's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 2. That's right, we're back, second week in a row for the second episode of the Next Wave podcast. Again, I'm Blake Janney, otherwise known as B Zanny, joined by my co-host of the Next Wave podcast, Dak Woodall, aka D Woody. We're going to be covering a few topics for you here today. We're going to be going over our CDL predictions. I know we touched on it a little bit last episode, but we're going to go down our list of things we want to talk about, do our 2023 predictions, get into some Halo 5 news, some Rocket League news, and then we'll touch on all things esports to wrap it up here at the end. But stay tuned. We've got some good conversation coming up here, and let's get into it. All right, so our first topic up here for episode 2 is going to be our Call of Duty League CDL 2023 season predictions. So I believe we did this, what was it, Vanguard? Was it before Vanguard that we did this list?
It was the Vanguard season, yeah.
Okay, so it literally just in Discord, me and Dak, just for fun, wrote down on a piece of paper our predictions for the 2021 Vanguard season, and a couple of them turned out to be correct. We did pretty well on that.
You were spot on like champs winner.
A lot of them.
And
Rookie of the year.
Yeah, rookie of the year, stuff like that.
I think I got first 50 bomb or first 1v4. One of those were true too. But anyways, to set it up for you guys here, Dak, anything you want to say before we get into it?
No, not really. I think I got good predictions though. I think I'm about to be spot on. Nostradamus.
I think a couple of these, I don't think we're going to have all the same, but I think there's a couple like clear answers for a couple of them.
Yeah.
And then like for one of the, I'll just go ahead and say right now, for the Rookie of the Year, there's only a couple to choose from, so we're bound to maybe have the same answer for that. But to go ahead and set up this segment for you guys, we've got our 2023 CDL predictions for who's going to win champs, most valuable player, Rookie of the Year, first in standings, last in standings, the most surprising team, the first 1v4 of the year, the first donut in the year, and that's obviously an S&D. If there's a donut in a respawn mode, they're getting benched immediately. First 50 bomb, which is a stretch.
Mid-mat. Get him
Do you want
out
to keep
there.
it as? Do you want to keep it as first 50 bomb because the highest kill game last year was Arcides with 43.
Yeah, but I think this game might be a little more fast-paced.
Faster?
It could
Yeah,
happen.
okay.
It could happen.
Okay. And then at the end of the year, if there isn't a 50 bomb, we'll just do the highest map kill map, and if we have that person, we have that person. And then the last one is first team to make a roster change. So I think we should go down the list and then each give ours for each one.
Yeah.
Okay, so first off, champs. Who's going to win champs, Dak?
Okay, it's a basic answer, but I got to take Faze. I think they're going to bounce back this year. They're sliding, longer kill time. I think they'll freaking love the game and be vibing again. And they're just going to be that dominant team that's always in finals. And I think this might be their year again. So, got to go Faze.
Yeah, definitely a safe pick. I don't know if I had any biased when choosing my answer, but I chose Optic. Like, just looking at the rosters, like, it's like just looking at pure talent, I only think of the top 4 teams from last year. Like, it is a top 4 heavy league, and I gotta go with Optic, man. You just look at all the talent. Like, you look at Faze, with Optic, it's like a new team. You don't know what's going to happen. You look at Faze, also a new team. They didn't get it done the past 2 years. They haven't got it done since, Cold War. And so for me, I'm going to go with Optic. I think finally, since 2017, it's their year again, with all the talent that they have in the world on the roster.
I hope so, and obviously as an Optic fan, I hope so, but I'm going like reverse psychology a little bit, and I'm picking Faze. Hopefully it jinxes them, but
right.
I just think Optic has to show us that they can get over the hump, because it seems like every year they're the best team in the game, and they're frying
at the beginning,
and they're having a great split, and then something happens in the major, and they lose to teams like Florida, and it all just goes downhill, and there's always something to blame. I think they just got to ice the F up and go out there and do it.
There's always a kryptonite too. There shouldn't be
hmm
any more kryptonite for
Yeah.
them. It was accuracy. They got rid of that last year. Beat them every fucking time last year.
hmm
And then last year their kryptonite was Kenny and Florida.
Yeah.
Like if they were playing the Thieves, they were losing because Kenny's on the other team, and then Florida they just played them well every time.
Right.
So I think Florida's just a totally different camp this year. I don't think the kind of players that they have are the kryptonite because you look at the Florida roster last year, Havoc, that guy is just optics kryptonite ever since
hmm
AW when he 1v4'd them.
Yep.
He literally 1v4'd them in
Yep.
AW. The dynasty, he just 1v4'd. Like he's
I
always
know.
been their kryptonite.
Yeah.
And then now we have Kenny on optics, so it's like, come on. Um, but nonetheless, the next topic or the next section is MVP. Who do you have for MVP, Dak?
I got the one, the only. Everyone hates him. Everyone loves him. Scrappy
Scrap.
from Ultra.
Nice.
I think
Nice.
it's his second year. Last year he was already in MVP talks. He's got Envoy on his squad now. They're gonna go into this season already having a season under their belt together. Minus Envoy, so they're gonna be probably. I expect them to just pick up where they left off, come out frying, and have a good year all the way to the end. Just like Faze, I feel like they should always be in that top four.
Yeah.
And I think Scrappy's a dog. He didn't show up, or they didn't show up at Champs last year against NYSL. Got absolutely slammed. I think he's got that dog in him. He's going to come back
do.
out this year, show everyone what he's about. Regular season MVP, my man Scrap.
Okay. All right. Scrap really wasn't on my board when I was looking at MVPs and not because he doesn't have the caliber. I just honestly was not thinking of him. I still don't think I would have picked him. But my MVP, it's going to be a comeback year for this player. They've been a little bit under the radar, overshadowed by their teammate Simp. I have Simp
Okay.
coming back and taking the crown with the MVP for performance. I just think the form that he was in MW is going to come back. Not only because the movement's quicker, but like you think about something similar. I said it on the last podcast, similar to this movement. It's like Vanguard or MW
Mm-hmm.
2019. He didn't have a bad year in Vanguard. He just wasn't this star player by any means. And I just think finally he's going to put it together. And I think with his two ARs, Draza and Celium, it's going to open up a lot of the things on the map because Draza's not scared to get involved,
Mm-hmm.
whereas people like Arcides and Slasher, they are scared to get involved and had kind of a weird two main AR dynamic with Celium on the team the way Celium was playing. So
Right.
I just think this year it's going to be his year, and Simp's gonna. He's my prediction for MVP.
I respect it. And I think, judging by the beta, this may be an SMG's game where
Yeah.
the SMGs are just dominant and frying, and, Simp should thrive this year. So, good pick.
Yeah. And then next one is Rookie of the Year.
Okay, Rookie of the Year, like you said, we didn't have too much to choose from, but I got to go with Abuza. Everyone just talks him up like he is a god on the sticks. I was looking up just his Challenger season. This dude was averaging like a 1.25 every event or higher. Some events he was like 1.3, 1.4, just frying.
That's crazy.
Frying an SND. Like, it looked like he pretty much has it all. People are super high on him. Pros are high on him. So even though their team, it seems like a weird fit, I think talent will show. And judging by
I do too.
the rookie pool, I feel like it's a pretty safe bet that Abuza will fry this year.
I agree. I also picked Abuza for my Rookie of the Year. So for those listening, there's only 3 rookies that we're pretty positive in right now, right? It's Abuza, Linz, and Purge, right? There's no other rookies that we know of confirmed to be picked up.
I'm pretty sure Purge
Other
is
than
still like rumors too. So like, I mean, I'm
yeah,
assuming the
Purge
rumors
isn't
are
even
true,
locked
but
in. Right. Most of the time, these rumors are true.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure about Lucky and Metals. I'm pretty sure Metals is not going to qualify because he was on the Toronto Ultra roster at the beginning of MW19. But I do believe Lucky and Eric Boom might qualify. I just don't see them having standout seasons.
Yeah.
Eric Boom was really good in Challengers. I think he was a flex or an SMG. And he was really good, just played for the W all the time and had pop-off moments. But yeah, Abuza, all the hype surrounding him, dropping insane KDs. The only thing that I think is going to hinder him from being Rookie of the Year is his team, Illy, Hook, and Arcides. I think him being with Hook is really good, except everyone is saying that he's an AR player. Um, when you were looking up the stats, did it show like his what guns he was using, or did you look at any gameplay?
Nah, not really. I was just seeing like kind of what his season looked like in challengers, but yeah, I
Yeah,
mean he has played AR in the past.
I'm pretty sure he's like a flex, but he is an AR player, so I'm interested to see how that team dynamic is going to work. Technically, Illy's a flex too. He can play both. But I think the only thing that is gonna hold him back from Rookie of the Year is going to be his overall team play. Because if you're losing 250 to 120 every hard point, you're not dropping crazy numbers. You're not going to get the
Right.
chance. So we've got him for Rookie of the Year. Next thing up is going to be first in the standings, and I'll just go ahead and start on this one. I have Faze.
Faze, yep.
Um, they always perform online. They're one of the teams that you know is always going to transition well online to LAN. Um, in terms of the team dynamics and the performance. So I have Faze. I'm pretty sure in the CDL, all 4 years they've been first in standings. Am I wrong?
I don't know, but
I don't know about
that's
MW
I would
2019.
bet money that that's probably
I
correct.
yeah,
Yeah.
same, yeah. So I'm pretty sure they've finished top in the standings every year. They go undefeated if not one loss each split. So that's who I have for my standings.
Yeah, by far the most consistent team. I also chose them. Um, I mean, it seems like other teams that are good, like Optic and Ultra and them, might have a bad split here and there. Like there was a time this year when Ultra had their best tournament and then turned around and went like 1-4 the next split or whatever. And FaZe just never seems to do that. Even when they are kind of on a downtrend, they're still, beating the teams that they should beat. And they're always going to be consistently up there. So easy choice. Chose FaZe as well. And yeah, moving on.
And the next one is last in the standings. So opposite of first in the standings, we're looking at last in the standings here. I did have London written down, which is rumored to be Clayster, GodRx, Real, and one other person. And like that was just because we don't know what LAG's roster is yet. But after looking at it, I changed my answer to LAG because I feel like whatever roster they come up with, I think London's going to have a better roster.
We're calling them
I
London.
can't even.
It's Carolina now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Carolina
I
Ravens.
wrote
Sorry.
London, but yeah.
Yeah. So I think Carolina's overall. That sounds weird. Carolina's overall going to be better than whatever roster LAG can come up with. I just got used to saying Vegas Legion. Now I'm going to have to get used to saying London Ravens instead of
Or Carolina.
yeah, Carolina.
Yeah. I still call Paris because they.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. But
You wrote Paris on
Yeah.
the document.
No,
They got to win an event to no
Yeah.
longer be Paris.
Yeah. I also chose LAG. I don't give a shit who's on their roster. I think they're poorly managed. I don't even know if they have management. I mean, that whole org is a complete dumpster fire. Everyone got fired last year, and they're like running out of money. I don't even know what's going on over there. So,
Shout out
not
to
even
Guard.
sure. I mean, they've had zero communication about the CDL. Like, I literally don't know what's going on with that roster. I feel like whatever they put out there is not gonna produce, and it's just
They're
gonna
building
be
the cheapest roster possible.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be a
That's what they're
complete
doing.
cluster of a year. It's not gonna be good. So LAG sure fit last place.
Yep. And then now we get into the more niche categories. First 1v4. Who do you got for the first 1v4 of the year? Who's the S&D mastermind masterclass player you chose?
First 1v4, I chose Pred. I think
Okay.
he's just always in some weird
Weasley.
situations in search, and he's just that type of dude where this year I kind of picture the 1v4 happening from an SMG player that's just like running around, being a rat, getting a kill, getting
Okay.
out real quick. Like
Okay.
I didn't picture like an AR player doing anything like that, so I chose Pred because I've seen him do some crazy shit in the past. Last year he had
Okay.
multiple plays in S&D like that, 1v3s, like crazy plays. So I could see him being the one for sure.
Nice. Okay. Interesting pick. I respect it. I went with. I think a lot of people in the CDL scene, analysts, former players, and current players, would put this person in like a higher echelon of a search and destroy player specifically, and that's why I chose them. I chose Draza,
Okay.
um, just because he has translated his S&D across every game that's since he's been in the CDL, Cold War, Vanguard, MW2. He's been a great S&D player. He always shows up. And so, counter to what you did, whenever I just had it pop in my head, I saw an AR two piece I saw an AR two piece to start off the clutch, right? Like
Okay.
getting one off bomb, gunning the other one, and then 1v2ing
Yeah.
the other two. That's what I saw. So a little bit on the other side of the spectrum when it comes to what we visualized. But I've got Draza, but Fred's a good shout as well. I also think Scrap is a good shout.
Mm-hmm.
As well, but like it's gonna be someone we don't expect.
Oh
First
yeah.
1v4 of Cold
Oh yeah.
War was Methods.
I know.
Methods was the
I know,
like
dude.
first and then the first 1v4 of or technically it was a 1v5 because it was Black Ops 4
Oh
was
yeah.
Looney. Looney got a
Yeah.
1v5, the only 1v5 in
Yeah,
all of
dude.
Black Ops 4.
That's insane.
So do I think either of the people we chose is going to have it? No, I think it's probably going to be some dumpster team
Yeah.
that loses 6-1 and their one round was a 1v4 that they threw because they were up 5-0 or something,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, but so we've got Pred and Draza for our first one before. Now we get into the other side of the spectrum from S&D Masterclass to S&D Trash Can. Who's gonna drop the first donut in S&D?
Okay, I have no
If you
idea
say
why. I have no
who
idea
did you
why.
pick?
All right, this was strictly off of vibes. I just chose
Yeah,
Vivid.
yeah, of course.
I chose
Who?
Vivid. Vivid
I
on
almost
Rock.
chose Vivid, bro. I
So,
almost chose
dude,
Vivid.
Hear me out. I can just picture Rocker getting hork slammed in a search, and Vivid's just like fucking aggressive trying to get the first pick, and it's just
The
not
opening,
working,
yeah.
dude. And then I don't know who they'll be playing, like Faze or someone, just
Yeah.
ripping him as soon as he steps outside, and it just being a complete clusterfuck of a map, and then he drops a donut.
That's exactly what I thought of, dude. I was looking through the names and I saw Vivid and I was like, I can see him. He's the
Yeah.
one. He's kind of when it comes to search, he's kind of like Shotzi, where he's gonna go for those 50-50 plays
Mhm.
and they're gonna work out or they're not, or he's gonna play like a rat, try to find the opening. And so that's and you get in a blender when you're that
Yeah.
player for your team. We saw it with Shotzi all the time in S&D last year. He'd have games where he drops 14. And he'd
Mhm.
have games where he's dropping stinkers.
Yeah.
So like that's just how that role works. And that's why I chose Mac.
Okay.
I chose Mac on the rumored Vegas Legion roster attached Standy Mac and Purge. I think Mac is going to drop a donut. It's just the kind of player he is. He's a dirty work player. Respect to him for that. Reminds me a lot of like Karma back in the old days where he was just doing all the dirty work, not getting a lot of recognition. The only difference is Karma was winning. Mac's not winning, really. So I'm going to give it to Mac first donut of the year. Obviously, I hope it doesn't happen, but yeah. So Mac and Vivid are our shitters for the 2023 CDL season. And then the next one, this is a high hope. We might see a 50 bomb, but this next topic is our first 50 bomber. First question, just to see where your head's at before we go into this. Do you think it's going to be
surprised by my answer?
Okay. Do you think it's going to be an AR or a sub?
A sub.
Okay, I agree. Who do you have?
Capsidal.
Capsidal. Okay. That's
Young
a dark horse
Cap,
pick.
bro. He's a fryer.
Yeah, I can see it.
He is a fryer. He dropped like, I know it's bow cage.
He's really good in
I
Vanguard.
know it's bow cage, and yeah, he was good at Vanguard. But the map that I was thinking of is he dropped like 50 on a bow cage in Vanguard, and I was like, yeah, this dude is disgusting. I mean, he's
Yeah, he's
just like
crazy.
once he's in rhythm, dude is not stopping, bro. So just the way this game is gonna play out, I feel like he's gonna be nasty, just frying and respawns, sliding around, having his way. Could be against
Yeah.
an LAG or someone like that, where he's just on a roll, and I could see it happening. So I chose.
Yeah, especially if a map like Scrapyard Hardpoint is in the rotation, that
Mhm.
might play even smaller than bow cage, and I'm almost 100% sure it does.
Yeah.
So like if Scrapyard Hardpoint is in the rotation, which a lot of pros say it won't be, which I don't understand yet, but if that's in the rotation, that's going to be easily attainable. And the person that I selected for first 50 is a callback to my MVP simp. I just think, just logically speaking, a 50 bomb is a catalyst to being voted MVP.
Yeah.
So I I kind of hedged my bet there,
Yeah.
and put him as the first 50 bomb, because when I think about a 50 bomb, I think about him on a Zir cave with an
Mm-hmm.
MP5 in
Yeah.
MW19 going absolutely nuts for a 50 bomb. So I chose him as my 50 bomb. So we're looking forward to see some good gameplay out of Simp. And who did you say?
Cap
And who?
Capsule.
Capsule.
Yeah.
That's right. So Simp and Capsule, we got high hopes for you, buds. Last category we have for our 2023 CDL predictions is the first roster change. To me, this was an easy answer,
I
just
thought so
because of
too.
how they set up their season. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, how they set themselves up.
Did you
Who do you
choose
got for
Florida?
first roster change? Yep,
Miami? Yep. Yeah. Miami came in with 5 people, didn't have a for sure roster yet, and then just
six.
like, yeah, 6 people. And then just like last week or 2 weeks ago, someone tweeted that, I think it was last week, someone tweeted that Journey said that he was playing challengers. So it looks like their roster is now what? Vickle,
Eric Boom, Metals,
Eric
and
Boom,
Lucky.
and Lucky. Yeah. So it seems like they got their roster down, but I feel like if they underperform one time, they'll just be like, oh,
Yep,
throw Journey in there, you know? And
exactly.
they already have a sub ready. And I feel like this is kind of just like a feel it out until we get the right match type of situation, just the way that they set their season up. So,
Especially with, I don't hate how they do that. I think it's more of a long-term strategy than it is
mm-hmm.
just to, there's teams that want to get their core group together, put them through the ringer, build the chemistry, learn from mistakes, and towards the second half of the year they're in form.
Right.
Versus what Miami, what was previously Florida, what they're doing is kind of the Toronto Ultra MW 2019 approach, where they rostered like a lot of people and just slowly filed them out until they found
mm-hmm.
the one that works. And they finally got that event win online in MW 2019 with Methods and the other people. And so I think they're taking a similar approach. I don't hate it because we don't know the roles. It could be a
Mm-hmm.
3 SMG or 3 AR meta. And so they have some people on the bench that they can use at their disposal rather than, going on a limb and dipping into challengers like some of these teams might have to do
Right.
if their substitute is not the right fit.
Right.
So Florida was the easy answer for me
mm-hmm.
as well. So definitely think just the way they structured their camp, they're the easy bet to be the first to make a change. But that doesn't mean what they might be fire off the rip. Boston looks like crap and they make a change.
Mm-hmm.
But nonetheless, that is our 2023 CDL predictions.
Now, real quick,
any final things?
Yeah, real quick. I want to know, who do you think is going to be the biggest surprise this year? Who's going to be a
Individually?
team? No, team-wise. Who's going to
Oh,
be
did we
the
skip
biggest
that?
surprise this year? Yeah. So
Oh yeah, we skipped that.
Who's your team that everyone might think nothing of, and then they just end up having a really good season? I'll start off if you're still thinking. I got to go with 100 Thieves, bro. They're interesting. They have a good camp there. I'm assuming they kept their coaches. I know J-Cap's still around there. And so I feel like they could be pretty good. Obviously, Ghosty played really well last season. People said he shouldn't have even been dropped at all. But I think that was more probably a chemistry thing. I don't know. But I think Ghosty's going to perform really well, of course. Joe Deceives was frying on the dumpster fire that was LAG. In that situation, I feel like it's damn near impossible to even have good tape to give out to other teams, So good for him. And, Afro's ceiling is high. And Cammy, if he can get back to Cold War Cammy, they could make a run at any given major. So I feel like they could definitely turn some heads this year.
Yeah, they're definitely the dark horse team. I think it's pretty obvious heading into the season. I chose Florida. I think a lot of people are sleeping on them just because a lot of them haven't really played with the top all the time. Vickle is the only one who is in the past 2 years or year and a half consistently, playing against the best and looking good. So I have Florida. I think they're underestimated. I think they have a lot to play for. They're playing for, not only are they playing just to win, they're playing for their visas to stay in the United States, to reach their dreams. So I think that they're going to turn some heads, and I think their chemistry is going to propel them off the
Yeah.
start of the game. Just overall wanting to play for each other, for Spain, for the overseas flags of COD because it's a very North American dominated esport, whereas a lot of the others aren't. So I think they're playing for a lot more than just their own personal desire to win. So I've got my surprising roster being Florida, even though they are the most susceptible to make a change off rip, just based on how they're set up as a camp. I think they could be the biggest surprise.
For sure. I like it. Yeah, I mean, even if they do make a change, like I feel like they're all in the same group. Like it's not
Yeah.
gonna be like, I don't know. It's not gonna be like other teams where there's like internal issues and stuff. I feel like
Yeah,
they're just
like I'll take a
waiting.
seat if y'all win. I'll ride the bench if y'all win,
Yeah,
type
like
thing.
I feel
So
like they're just waiting to find the right fit, and that'll be their roster. I don't think there'll be any bad blood or bad internal issues in their camp. So yeah, they could definitely have a good year for sure.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, so that was our 2023 CDL predictions. Before we jump into our next topic, Dak, any other final statements for MW3?
Just waiting on November 10th, man. It's getting closer. It's getting closer and closer.
Unfortunately, I already agreed to go to. I don't know if it's going to happen for sure yet, but I agreed to go to Fayetteville.
Man.
So I kind of screwed myself over, grinding for 72 hours straight, which is what I wanted to do. But I'm pretty sure it comes out the night before, so that Thursday night.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's how they usually drop. So I'll grind it that night, and then Friday I'll be on my way to Fayetteville. So unfortunately, I kind of set myself up for
All right.
failure there. But yeah,
You
November
heard 'em.
10th.
I'll be running the content that weekend.
Yeah, you will. The initial launch week.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, nonetheless, let's get into our next topic. We're going to be talking about some Halo. The new Season 5 just came out. The biggest changes that we've seen for Halo Season 5 is really the starting gun. Instead of being the BR, we've got the Bandit Evo, going from a burst rifle in the BR to the single-shot DMR style gun called the Bandit. How have you been liking it so far, Dak? I remember at first we didn't like it very much.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not as easy to use as a battle rifle. I feel like BRs are so easy to use. You can like kind of flick and spray with the burst, and this one's a little bit less forgiving if you're missing
Definitely.
shots. So definitely it's going to raise the skill ceiling for people who can use it. There should be a little bit more of a skill gap, but I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, it's going to be the same thing. Pros are going to be good with it, and the same teams will probably dominate. But as far as us playing competitive, I've enjoyed it. I'm getting better with it. It's kind of fun, something new to work at, and I think it'll be fine for the esport.
Yeah, I agree. I've seen a lot of pros using it. It looks really fun to watch. I think it's really obvious when good shots are being hit and when someone deserves a kill, and it's obvious when someone gets shit on, even more as well. Even myself, even though we haven't played for like a year, we've been playing the last week or so, and the first like day or two on, I got absolutely world starred by a couple people with that new gun. But switch the settings up a little bit. It's been scratching our competitive itch for the last week or so until COD. So we've got an FPS in pocket, but I've been having fun so far. What are we, plat right now? I just ranked up to diamond, so I'm diamond 1 at the moment. But trying to hit onyx at least, and until the game comes out.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Halo Season 5 is popping right now. People seem to love it. Halo's on the right track. It seems just like Master Chief Collection. This game comes out, it's trash at first. There's not enough content. Doesn't keep people around. And then as the years go on, they slowly start adding more into it until finally it's a game that has everything you would want out of a Halo. We've got Firefight coming soon. Obviously, campaign is a little unfinished. If you've played it, like it was fun. The open world was fun. Open world, you're kind of restricted, but I mean, I really enjoyed it. I just think they need to polish it, do a little bit more with it. Like, there were drops in the campaign. So like if you found hidden lockers, they were called, then you could get like armor coatings out of them. Well, there's multiple stances and like certain items that you can go look at that are locked, and it says unlocked via campaign, but they're not in the campaign. So obviously they just didn't finish that or didn't put those in. And it just seems like campaign gets no attention at all. I hope they have plans to like continue the story, because it did end on like a little bit of a cliffhanger. And it was really fun. And I think if they do make another adaptation to campaign, it'll bring more people in. Also, there were no rewards for finding all the hidden skulls. There was just an achievement for it. You know, usually that's a big thing in Halo campaigns, is they have hidden skulls everywhere and you got to do puzzles to find them and stuff. So I just think if they up campaign and continue to add content to multiplayer like they have been doing, Halo will thrive. It'll get even more popular as the years go on. I mean, it's consistently been a top 50, top 20 game on Xbox. Like, people have been playing it since it's been out. It's just the PC side of things with all the top shooters that we have, like Counter-Strike, Valorant, all the access that you have on PC. It's hard to get people to come back to Halo. And I think they're finally starting to get people to come back with this season and all the content that's come out. And so I think if they just continue to add on to like cross-core armor customization, because you can do any helmet on any core now, makes a lot more fun combinations, makes you want to play the game a little bit more. I think they're on the right track, but it is just more so us having to wait because they're so slow at making the game what it should be.
Yeah, and what's also been fun this season is the custom games that we've been playing. There's a lot more customizability within Forge now with AI and just overall, just they're making the engine better. The customizability is improved. So we're seeing a lot of fun games, some old ones from back in the day, and just some new improvements on those games, and just overall new custom games, as well as even more. What's gained traction in the last week or so is that someone made a BR within Halo 5. I haven't gotten the chance to play it yet. Have you?
Yeah. So the BR is fun, dude. Like, you can definitely tell you're in a custom game. Like it's a little custom gamely made. Yeah, like it's a little buggy, but it is fun. I mean, it feels like a battle royale once you're in there. The circle closes randomly, so it's a fully functioning BR, but it just makes me want a real battle royale in Halo. Like it would be so sick, because it is fun. I've enjoyed it. They do have like AI enemies at certain points of interest, and they're actually like kind of threatening. Like, you can't just run up in there and do whatever you want, like Fortnite bots. Like, the brutes will kill you. There's hunters. Like, they're a threat. And the AI has been a great addition to Forge, because like we played Backrooms AI, and it's just a bunch of brutes that chase you and stuff. Like, it's dope. I saw that. It's really cool. Like, they actually are viable enemies on the map. And so like the BR feels cool. It just feels a little lifeless because there's like no soundtrack to it, really. Like, you just hop in a custom game and you're like in a silent ship, and then you just drop in. It'd be super sick if it was fully made by 343 and like you got people in your ear and bigger map. Like, it'd be sick. So I feel like
you're fully involved.
Like this is the start to what could be 343 saying we need to make a battle royale.
Yeah, if they hadn't heard that that the community wanted one. Since the game dropped, people have been saying this is perfect for a BR. Where's the BR? There's a BR coming out. There was so much hype for like a couple months. People thought it was dropping, and so if that wasn't the final straw, Forge BR should be, and they should be like, oh, we should definitely put this in the game.
Yeah, because I think it was like the most saved map in Halo. Like so many people were playing it. Like, they set all kinds of custom game records I saw on Twitter. So there is demand for a battle royale 343. Go make one. Trust.
Yeah, I'll be playing it for sure. But yeah, anything else? Halo Season 5?
Nah, man. Just, it's a great transition into COD. It's gonna be fun for the next few weeks, and And then
And it's all COD.
yeah, then it's all COD pretty much. Hopefully
Yep.
COD's good enough to continue playing.
Yeah. The last thing on our topic list, I'm gonna let Dak take the reins on this because it's his forte here. Um, Rocket League and Epic gave us another update
Yeah.
on the trading. If you want to go into that.
They didn't give us an update because they don't give a shit if they tell us anything. Really, the community just found out that the reason trading is going away December 5th is because Fortnite is making a racing mode where you can bring in your Rocket League presets. Woohoo! Yay! So now we are one step closer to becoming a mini game on Fortnite. Woo! Yeah, I don't know how the hell that affects trading or why that makes sense for trading to be out of the game.
I can tell you why.
Yeah, because more people are going to buy shit from the item shop so that they can make their car look cool and go take it to Fortnite. God damn it.
No, not even. I was thinking the opposite way. I bet they're going to sell stuff on Fortnite for that mode. Like, they're going to have Octane skins in the Fortnite item shop, too. Like, but I'll honestly, I wasn't thinking about it. I was thinking about it if Rocket League was staying the same item shop-wise. But if they do go to that full item shop system, then yeah, you're probably right. It's so they can buy it and then bring it over. But it's unfortunate for me because I use a different Epic account for Fortnite, so I can't even bring over my Rocket League stuff. So that sucks. I'm gonna have a blue and red car with stock rims. But
we'll talk after this. It's not podcast related, but I was saying I could just trade you some shit to the Fortnite account.
That is true. Yeah. That is true.
We have a month.
Oh well.
We have a month.
Yeah.
But yeah. That was the only update on trading. That was I'm not gonna get on my rant again about Epic. You all know shit sucks. So real quick, I did want to hit on some roster mania in Rocket League. We have an extended off season for some reason. Epic also hasn't really told us why about that. I forget. But Arsenal, the face of SSG, everyone loves him, but Arsenal has been kicked from Space Station Gaming, and quite honestly, I think it's a good move by SSG. I think, if they want to win Worlds in today's Rocket League, they're going to need more players on LJ's caliber. LJ was going crazy at Worlds. He won offensive MVP of the entire Rocket League Worlds. Like, he was doing everything for them. This dude, LJ was MJ. Like, he was doing everything for them, bro. And I just don't know if Arsenal was ever going to get over that hump. It seems like he just takes losses tough on LAN. It could be just kind of a composure thing. And I just think it was a good move by them. I don't know if he was going to be the right fit for, winning Worlds. Because in today's league, you got to beat Vitality, K-Corp, Liquid, like really good EU teams. SSG was our top placing North American team. They came in 5th through 8th and lost to the 4th best European team, like 4-2. They got shit on. LJ was doing everything. Like, they couldn't do anything. So I think a change was needed if they want to win. Other NA teams are getting better. Like Gen G picked up First Killer and dropped Noli, so now they're going to be stacked. They'll probably do really well.
Optic Arsenal?
Optic's done. They pulled out.
I know.
Yeah, it sucks.
You can only hope, though.
It sucks. But, yeah, I think the change was needed. It sucks for Arsenal. I love Arsenal. He's great. I hope he lands on his feet, gets on a good team, can compete this year, keep growing as a player. But I think if SSG wants to win and they realize that LJ is him, then they got to surround him with other talent that can get them there.
Where's Daniel at?
Daniel went to version 1, but then version 1 obviously is in rumors to merge with V2. And the rumored G2, yeah, sorry. V2. Version 1 just upgraded.
V1, V2. We are V3 now.
But I believe the rumored roster is Atomic, who was already on G2, and then they dropped JNaps in Chicago, and they are going to pick up Beast Mode. What's wrong with JNaps?
Nothing. I just always tune into Rocket League and he's playing, and it just reminds me of JCap, so I say fuck JNaps.
Yeah. So I believe it's going to be Beast Mode, Daniel, and Atomic, which could be the best
Wow.
roster in NA. Like that could be
Yeah.
disgusting.
I don't know shit, and that made me go, oh fuck.
Yeah, no, Beast Mode and Daniel are
Because first killer's disgusting.
insane. Yeah, first killer's gross. He just is a little bit of a choker. Just a little bit.
There you go.
But no, first killer is definitely like best in the world level when he's on.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, beast mode insane. He can take over a game. Daniel is like the NA prodigy, which he's never really won anything, so he needs to get over that hump because he was supposed to be our Zen basically.
Yeah.
And it just hasn't gone that way. But Version 1 ended their season winning that tournament in Saudi, the Gamers 8 tourney.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that was on LAN, big crowd, big production, and they showed up, even though there was like 1v1s and 2v2s and shit. I feel like they showed that they can have composure and do it, and on a roster like this, they could be real scary this year. So,
yeah,
it's going to be interesting. But yeah, NA needs a change. Every single team in NA was good last year, but they were all just kind of beating each other up, and we didn't have like that elite team. You know what I'm saying? Everyone was just like the same, on the same level. Anyone could win a regional any given weekend. You didn't know who was going to do it. So I think this year teams are trying to make super teams and go overseas and take down EU.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch it some more. I think this past, like the last like 2 or 3 events of the season, as the COD guys were watching it more, I started watching it more naturally, and with your encouragement, I started watching it more. So I'm excited to watch it even more and learn more about it and see those teams prosper. But yeah, that's going to do it for episode 3 of the Next Wave podcast. Make sure to tune in for the Call of Duty release date. Dak's probably going to do some streaming. Like I said, I'll be out of town rooting on the Hogs and their shitty football team. But nonetheless, thank you guys for tuning in to episode 3 of the Next Wave podcast, and we'll see y'all next time. Deuces.
Peace.